Hey, Chris,
Yeah, Fred.
what's a Mason?
That's a really good question, Fred.
You've reached the internet's home for all things Masonry. Join Chris and I as we plumb the depths of our ancient craft. From the common gavel to the trowel, nothing is off the table. So grab your tools and let's get to work. This is On the Level. Oh, no, we're back. We're back.
Yeah!
Reports of our demise have been greatly exaggerated.
What? There were reports of our demise?
No, I was just
Oh.
saying that. I love that statement. It's one of my
Oh.
favorite statements ever.
I do like that, actually.
Reports of my death have been greatly over-exaggerated.
It's pretty badass.
I don't remember what movie that's from. Oh wait, no, I think it was a statement that a politician made back in the 70s. Anyway,
Mark Twain
Mark Twain, did he?
is said to have read his own obituary and then remarked, "The reports of my death are greatly exaggerated."
There it is, Mark Twain. I just quoted Mark Twain and
Great,
I
Mark
didn't
Twain.
even know it.
One thing I noticed is we have this newfangled device that makes magic box stuff happen.
Okay.
And our intro plays in our headset now before the podcast, and man, that
Right.
gets me amped up.
You all right? Yeah, I love it.
We used to
I love
just turn it on and be like, "We're live."
it. Right. We had to actually be professionals back then. Now we can just rock and roll it.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
You know, amped up.
This part works. Yeah, this works much better. This is the way it's supposed to be.
Oh,
When it comes in. It comes in live recorded in the studios, recorded live in a studio. That's the word there.
wow.
So what's going on with you, man? What's new lately? Like I don't know.
Let's see. Right Worshipful Tom Haber and I got up to Temple Terrace Lodge.
Nice.
Met a fan of the show, their worshipful master, Christophe Seville.
Shout out.
I'm sorry you couldn't be there. He
I
was
know,
a
I-
huge fan of the show.
I apologize, brother. I will make it next time. Just going through a bunch of different changes right now, changing some stuff up for the better in the long run, but a
That's
little
awesome.
difficult
Yes,
right now.
Well, you talked about that.
Yep.
How's that going?
Good. I it comes back to the same thing. You're given one day at a time.
Yeah.
We are given one day at a time. Now, it's smart to save and to have insurance, and
Sure.
all that stuff is wise, and we want to be wise, in our lives, and wise men, but the truth is that when if you wake up in the morning, you're given that day in front of you, and in that day one should behave correctly. You should walk as a man and do what is right throughout the day to the best of your ability. And that's really what I'm being taught right now. I had all these great plans and ideas, I don't know if you guys listened to the last podcast. I walked into work on a Friday, and the big muckety muck from Fort Myers came up and said, "Hey, we're firing you." And I'm like, "Really? Why?"
Very good. Thank you.
And I'm
Turn
like-
around and walk out.
Yeah, and he wanted to just walk away. I didn't let him walk away. But
He thought it was
update.
going to be easy.
He thought it was going to be easy. It was not easy. I sent him an email subsequently that wasn't the greatest email, but there was a bunch of truth bombs in that email.
Anything happened from that?
Yeah, I talked to him.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, and we're good. We're good. He appreciated, the truthfulness of it and the heads up, that
Wow.
he's not as loved, he's not as beloved as the new CEO in the corporation as he thought he was. So I shed a little light on that, but
Mm-hmm.
I told him I think what I said is I stand by what I said factually, but the way I delivered it was totally wrong, brother. And
That's
I-
big of you. It's a hard thing to catch yourself.
It's important in life to keep short accounts with all of this kind of stuff. And it goes back to what I started out with, is that, you have today, and I think it was Benjamin Franklin who kind of had that same idea, that he had these 25 rules that he lived by, that he wrote them out. And each day he would employ these things in his life, integrity and, hard work, never do this, do that and stuff. And it's just super important that we keep short accounts. If you make a mistake, if you say something that's wrong, if you post, for goodness sakes, please stop posting, people. Stop posting negative things about your brother online. Please. Yeah. Anyway, if you do...
As a personal favor to me, if you email me and say, "Don't show this to anyone, it's on the level," and then I respond and you post it publicly online, It's not good.
That's
Maybe don't do that.
maybe try not to.
It's probably a bad idea.
Probably would have been a good idea not to say anything in the first place, but whatever.
I get
Hypothetically, we're speaking here,
That's
of
the kind
course.
of stuff you're talking about.
Right. It's
Probably
like,
shouldn't
come
do.
on, man. So for me, I'm on a personal journey, and I've been praying. I am a man of prayer. I get up very early every day, and I study, and I pray and ask God for wisdom and guidance in my life. And when you do that regularly, the first one that gets the opportunity to change everything is you, and that's what I'm kind of going through right now. God's revealing a lot of things in my life right now that need to change, and I'm willing to do it. It's painful. The scriptures say that don't despise the correction of God, because He's treating you as a son. Because what father does not discipline their sons, right? And that's what's happening, and it's grievous. And it's tough, and it's frustrating as all heck.
That's how you know it's good for you.
But that's how you know that you're a son. You're not illegitimate. You are an adopted son, and your Father who is in heaven loves you. And it's important to respond correctly, respond appropriately. And for me, lately, it's really just been, again, I just keep going back to this. And if you're listening and if this is speaking to you, there's a reason for it. One day at a time. You are given today. That's what you're given. You're not promised tomorrow, and yesterday's gone. You can't change it. Today, moment by moment, hour by hour, day by day, is a good way to live your life before men.
Benjamin Franklin, I'm reading this quote. He said, "Many people die at 25 and aren't buried until 75."
That's so good.
Most individuals live life without truly experiencing its full potential or pursuing their passions and dreams.
I love that.
They just go through, following the easy path.
Right.
But that's not really living, is it? Life isn't all sunshine and rainbows. Sometimes it's pain, and sometimes it's hard.
Yeah. And as
many
you go,
of the best things are on the other side of pain and hardship, aren't they?
I would say all of them, right?
It's sad, but it's true.
Nothing worth having comes easy. Nothing that you desire, that you value. You didn't get it, because it fell in your lap, unless your last name is Rockefeller. I mean, it's,
Maybe you got a small $5 million loan from Dad,
Oh, well, that's possible.
Most of us not.
I don't think I did. Let me check. Yeah, no.
No, same here. I didn't even get old socks from my dad.
Yeah, right.
Nothing. Which is a blessing in its own, when you got to make your own way, you learn about life a lot more.
Well, that's right. That's
and
right.
People.
And for me, and people is the thing. Lately, that's what I'm learning, is to forgive as you have been forgiven and love as you have been loved. And, if you haven't been loved, it comes out in the way you treat other people. And, we all need to take a step back and look at the way, how am I treating people? Am I like manipulating a situation for my benefit, because of some future gain? I don't know, like maybe some big money's coming your way or some kind of thing you're trying to set yourself up for, and you got your eyes, on the big prize, but you're discarding the relationships and the people in your life along the way.
Well, that's going to be a hollow victory.
It's going to be a hollow victory, man. And it's going to be a disaster, because by the time you get there, that big prize is going to be nothing but a gigantic idol that you're going to have to bow down to, and you have to forsake all the people around you, and you're going to end up,
you'll be alone.
You'll be alone
with your thing.
You'll be alone.
Just you and your thing alone.
You, your thing, and all the devastation around you. So that's.
Oh, this has got me thinking. So I was at Temple Terrace Lodge.
Right.
And they have a past grandmaster there, who's their secretary.
Okay.
Such an awesome, fun guy. I mean, I walked in and he's like, "This is a fun lodge." I was like, "Yeah!
Welcome to fun country."
He's like, "Masonry should be fun. If you're not having fun with each other, what are we doing here?"
Kind of signed up.
I
signed up for fun. I did sign up for fun.
Yeah. The ritual work on point. I don't think they made a single mistake in opening or closing, but they had fun the entire time.
I love that.
Like, this is Freemasonry is alive. If they start the program there, they're going to have huge success.
That's great.
And I think they are. But where was I going with this?
Something important.
It was important. I was, after the meeting, asking this past Grandmaster, hey, why is it that we don't have a chamber of reflection anymore?
Ooh.
What is that about? And he proceeded to tell me stories, and everyone there was telling stories because the guys from the worship masters from France, they still do the chamber of reflection.
Okay.
It's required. And this past Grandmaster said he kind of had to go through a very similar chamber of reflection, and it's great for the EA. And I was thinking Master Mason would be more appropriate because they already know Freemasonry. They won't be as freaked out by something as different as that.
Okay.
But they all said, no, the EA should be a little freaked out. That's the point.
I get that.
Wake up, guy.
Wake up, right,
Look,
yeah.
This is weird and scary. Pay attention. So they were all talking about who's going to put forth the legislation, who's going to do it. And I was like, me, let's do this.
Let's do it.
I'm serious. We should do this. We should write legislation to submit to Grand Lodge to bring it back. Let's let On the Level lead the way to bring the Chamber of Reflection back as an optional practice for lodges.
Optional, of course.
Not required.
That's right.
You let a lodge do it. And I mean, a lot of the stuff in our ritual could be scary to somebody. A lot of it could be.
Yeah.
The reception could be scary.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Right.
So that, even though it might scare some people, I think if you do it and you have some rules and say it has to be done tastefully and nice and not intentionally.
I'm sure we could dig out the old archives. I'm sure there's a procedure. We have a procedure for everything.
That's it. I think you just got to craft this carefully enough and put the guardrails on the legislation that everyone will approve it. So I say we go for it.
Yeah, I'm in. I don't know how do you do that? Do you know, is there a process? Anybody out there who's listening, if you understand the process of writing and submitting legislation, shoot me or Chris an email. And we'll start working on
Help us out if you're a lawyer or attorney and you're good with legalese.
Yeah.
Let's get crack-a-lacking.
Let's set a goal that middle of June 2024, we've got something in hand that we could present. That's plenty of time. 6 months, 7-8 months from now. So nobody can say that we didn't give enough time. But let's work on it together as a community, because I just really think the Chamber of Reflection is so needed and so cool and so cool.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. That's going to keep me up at night thinking about doing
it. All right, we're doing it.
We have more going on. We had a great conversation, Fred and I, yesterday about finalizing some of the last details of the education symposium coming up.
Yes.
In January.
I am so excited.
We can now, I think, officially announce our ticket cost.
Yes.
Who the speakers are.
Yep.
And when it's going to be. And within by the time you hear this, you should be able to, at the next podcast you hear after this, we'll definitely have links and places you can go to actually get tickets.
Tell the brethren what they're going to get for their $50.
Okay. For $50, you will get a free drink ticket at the shrine.
All right.
That will include beer, wine, or well drinks.
Excellent.
You will get an On the Level lanyard to bring home for the symposium. You will get to hear Brother Juan Sepulveda talk about Masonry and astronomy.
His presentation is awesome, by the way. if you've not seen it, you need to see it.
Yep.
Or hear it.
Worshipful Daniel Molina will be speaking.
Yep, another great speaker.
We have a mystery guest speaker. You'll hear from Fred and Chris at the symposium talking about...
We're going to talk about the question is, does Masonry have something to contribute to the future of this country?
Oof, I can't wait to hear that.
I'm working on it. It's tough, but we'll be ready.
And we have a keynote speaker that it was difficult, a very busy man.
Yep.
He's in the middle of doing 3 installations the day that he speaks for us.
Wow.
So he's going to be presenting in between his installations and taking questions and sitting with us afterwards to talk about Freemasonry.
That's awesome.
That's right, Worshipful Talia.
Nice.
I don't know if I said his last name right.
You better get that right.
You know who I'm talking about. I believe is our Grand Senior Warden this year.
Oh, no kidding. Okay.
So he'll be speaking, and this will be an event that goes on from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. at the Sahib Shrine in Sarasota, Florida.
Folks are going to get hungry. Tell them all about what we're going to have.
Beef tips, mashed potatoes, vegetables, Caesar salad, dinner rolls with butter, and we'll have some kind of a dessert there.
All included for your $50.
For $50.
Yeah, that's a great
all-day
deal.
education. You get a nice all-you-can-eat buffet for lunch. The Shrine does have a breakfast buffet that is very cheap.
Yeah, I think it's like $10,
Something
$9.95
like
or
it's
something.
also all-you-can-eat buffet.
It's outrageous. Yeah.
And you'll get your drink ticket. So from 9 to 6, we'll be taking many breaks. There'll be plenty of opportunities to get a snack and mingle a
Fellowship,
little
hang out.
bit.
Yep.
But we will have solid speakers, and they're each going to speak for an hour, and you and I will get to sit down and have one-on-ones with them after they speak.
Right. Yeah. It's going to be
We're
awesome.
going to do a little on-the-level live interview with these speakers in front of everybody, and we'll culminate it in a round table where we all take questions from the crowd.
Yeah, at
and
the
we'll
end
have
there.
a real discussion with everybody that comes about Freemasonry and any of the stuff we talked about, or really whatever anyone wants to talk about.
Right.
And so this is going to be, we can house about 300 people at the Shrine.
Well, if we were to get 300 there, that would be absolutely off the chain awesome, because the fellowship, and the camaraderie alone would be just absolutely epic. But, anywhere from 100 to 200.
Hell, even if it's just me and you.
If it was just
we're
me and
gonna
you,
have
hey,
fun.
we're going to have fun. and there's going to be an after party as well.
Oh,
so,
yeah, there will be an after party at the Shrine. They have a full bar.
Yep.
Tiki
two,
bar.
Two full bars.
Yeah, outdoor tiki bar. It'll be beautiful weather at this time. It's going to be January 13th.
January 13th-ish.
Saturday, January 13th from 9 to 6. Please mark your calendar off.
Yes, please plan on being there.
Please
Everybody.
come and spend some time with us. Meet us. We will likely be broadcasting live at points throughout the day from the event, talking to people, getting their opinions on things.
If you're coming in from out of town and you need accommodations, shoot us an email.
Yes.
And we'll work on getting a block or something, for you. We'll help you put that together if you got a group that wants to come down.
There's lots of space around there.
Oh, yeah.
Plus, I got extra rooms in my house. And
oh, no, don't say that.
You can help out some people if you needed to.
All right. You heard it, folks. Chris's house is open.
It is. I hope you like whiskey, though.
Yeah, I hope you go ask your
you
wife.
Don't have water.
You might want to tell your wife about this offer you just made to the entire world.
She'll love that idea. No. You're a Mason, right? So I can trust you.
Yeah.
But this is really exciting.
I'm excited.
If you guys like it, if this winds up working out, then we have big plans for other things. And if you don't like it, we'll go away quietly.
We'll go away quietly and sulk and come back with something even better.
But we're all about education.
Right.
And everybody says they want education. So guess what? For $50, you can get Masonic education all day. We have a guest speaker from New York who we're about to lock in, who's going to travel down on his dime because he's so excited about speaking to the brothers.
What an honor. What an honor this is. It sounds like it's a done deal. We just can't really announce quite yet.
Just waiting for the final confirmation.
Waiting for the final confirmation. But if it is true, that's quite an honor.
We'll probably have a raffle to get you tickets. We'll put that together and give away some free tickets to listeners that are interested in coming.
Yeah, and we want as many people to come as possible. It's not like we're making money on this. Our heart, as you guys know, podcasting is not a financial boon.
There's not a lot of millionaire podcasters out there, probably.
Well, I don't know. Unless you're Joe Rogan,
right?
You're not. You're probably not doing it. But our goal is to reach, as you guys know, our goal is to reach as many Masons out there with actual Masonry, getting everyone excited to go back, pick up your pamphlets that you have collecting dust, go back to your lodge and establish yourself as a brother who wants to see Masonry be what it's supposed to be, and that's about brotherly affection. It's about relief, and it's about truth.
I love it. If you have the fortitude, temperance, and are ready to reprehend with justice, we can get some business done.
Yeah, man, right? And then we can answer the question. Does Masonry have something to offer to this hurting country? I think it does.
Maybe you can answer it if you come.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Tell us what you think.
Yeah, because that's what this is all about. Education is about sitting together and talking through these things. And coming up with solutions, perhaps, or direction, or just something that you didn't know before you came, and now you know it, and it will impact your life and the life of others. That's kind of the whole idea behind all of it.
And we should give credit where credit's due. We were invited to speak at the Hillsborough Lodge number 25 Masonic Education Symposium this year.
Were we?
Was it this year or last year?
Last year.
It was last year.
23.
Okay, and that's
22.
We spent all day getting education from awesome some of the same speakers that are coming here. So and meeting some awesome brothers, and we were like, wow, we need more of this.
Right.
And we asked them, hey, would it be offensive to you if we did something? And they said, of course not.
Right.
We'd be so excited if
Worshipful
you would
Carol.
do something like this.
He's one of our favorite brothers. We got to get up.
He's
there.
my favorite. Okay.
We got to get up there before his term is up.
Oh yeah.
And just go for a visit. So we'll work on that.
We were talking about that. I'm like, only 4 more meetings. He's like, stop that. Don't talk like that. I'm not coasting. He's like, I'm hitting the gas, baby.
Hit the gas, baby.
That's why I like him.
Hit the gas. Downhill, hit the gas. Uphill, hit the gas.
No coasting here.
No coasting, right? Right on.
Right up with your wheels on fire, all busted up at the end of the finish line. You did a good job.
That's right. Hey, we got a lot of response from our interview with Right Worshipful Heart. I'm understanding, man. That interview went. I really enjoyed that, man. That was a lot of fun.
The only negative feedback I got is like, hey, I didn't even hear his voice till 15 minutes in. I'm like, yeah, that's kind of our thing. Have you listened to this show?
Have you listened to us?
You don't hear anything important until after the first 15 minutes.
We're at 21 minutes right now.
Oh, God damn, we're behind. But yeah, I mean, actually, we should have him back on because I was so excited to have him here. We didn't even talk about the fact that he went to school for archaeology.
I know, right?
He's like Indiana Jones in real life.
He's Indiana Jones,
and we didn't even go there. So I would really like to have him back on to talk about his career as an archaeologist and some of his thoughts on the study of man in general.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he and I have great conversations. We have a lot of differing opinions. He and I, and it's always gentlemanly and scholarly, the discussions. And I so appreciate men like him, who are able to articulate, without insult or some sort of rivalry, but for the purpose of education and learning and walking away and remaining brothers, because that's what Masonry's about. We don't all have the same belief structures. We don't have all the same political backgrounds, familial backgrounds. We don't have any of that. What we have in common is a set of principles that are laid out in our ancient craft.
Yeah.
And it makes it possible for a group of men from diverse backgrounds from all over the world to actually get something done.
Yeah.
And for me, that's what makes Masonry special to me. I have never been insulted or turned away because of my particular faith or belief, and I have never had occasion, nor would I, to do that to any other. It's always been very open and honest, and I just want that for the entire state, for the entire country, for the entire idea of Masonry in the modern world, is we have got to get away from the old guard idea that the Masonry belongs to the guy that's in charge. Or I'm gonna refashion Masonry after my own image, and we see a lot of that lately. And the whole Texas thing, we talked a lot about the Texas thing.
Oh,
you got an update on that, don't you?
Yeah. Do you mind?
Yeah, go.
I actually reached out to Right Worshipful Brad Billings, who's one of the main people involved in this situation.
Right.
And he informed me that unfortunately he cannot speak in detail and any detail about what's happening in Texas.
Which he did not.
No, he did not talk to me even privately about any details. And he said what would be great is their Grand Lodge is in January. He would love to come on the show after Grand Lodge and talk to us in more detail about the situation, what happened, because it needs to be in the past for him to talk about it. If it's happening or about to happen, Texas law states he can't talk about it.
Yep.
Not only can he not talk about it, no one around him can talk about it. Even the lawyers, and then there are lawyers involved, are not allowed to talk about it.
Okay.
So he has to wait for it to resolve at Grand Lodge. We really can't cover this in much more detail than what we have given you.
Right, yeah.
There's a lockdown on information and free speech in the state of Texas.
Right.
Which, not being from Texas seems...
I don't know.
in bad spirit.
I'm
but
looking at the situation now, and you know what? You know what isn't happening? A ton of back and forth misinformation and propaganda.
That's true.
'Cause it's a straight up gag order. You can't talk about it till it's done.
Yeah.
But then when it's done, you're free to speak. And that's what the brother has said. He'll come
Yeah.
on the show, and brother, you are more than welcome. We will make time. You just let us know when. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to hear from opposing viewpoints. Anything Florida can do, anything OTL can do to help Texas become, better Masons, we're willing to do, man. We're willing to step up and help out.
Yeah.
So,
We don't have a dog in that fight.
No,
It's
we do
more
not.
About, let's report on this almost as if we're Masonic reporters.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Here's
Yeah.
the situation. This is what's happening.
Why not? Can't be any worse than any of the other reporters out there.
Yeah, no. Yeah. It'd be
Journalism has fallen on hard times,
easy.
people.
Bar's pretty low there.
Yeah, right.
No, we don't have any interest in doing anything other than getting to the bottom of
Yeah.
the truth of this.
There goes the microphone again.
Hello.
One of the things you guys don't know here in the studio is Chris is an arm waver.
Man, why do I do that?
He likes to
No one
wave his
can see
arms,
anything.
and no one can see him, but he's definitely animated,
sorry.
and usually sometimes the microphone gets in the way, and that happens. But
Stupid
it
microphone.
hasn't happened in a long, long time, so I'm real proud of you.
Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. So
I need to bolt this thing down.
yeah, no, that doesn't work either. So
Yeah, so that's the update on Texas. We can't get any more info till after January, which is only a couple months away. That's gonna
that's
fly
right.
by.
That's right. All right. So one more thing that I want to talk about is the DC trip.
What?
We're going to Washington, D.C. OTL will be
Wow.
at the Washington Gavel. What's it officially called? It's the Gavel presentation,
Yes,
I believe.
as well as the installation of that lodge in D.C. and
Right.
the laying of the wreath at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier by
Right.
the Grand Master. They're going to randomly pick Masons out of a lottery that attend to help the Grand Master lay the wreath. We'll be there with the Grand Master and his entourage and all the brothers from D.C. and the lodge that houses the Masonic, the Washington Gavel.
Wow.
This is all because of Right Worshipful Bill Katsulis,
Shout out.
who's really helping us out with this.
Yeah. Fan of the show, and we are a fan of him.
We did interview him. If you want to hear a dynamic Mason that's got passion coming out of his ears for Freemasonry, then listen to that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Good brother.
If you're not
Good
inspired by that, I don't know what to tell you.
brother. If you're not inspired by that, check your pulse. You could be dead.
Yeah, he might be dead. He might be dead inside. He is a very dynamic Mason who cares a lot for the fraternity and really just like us wants to see it flourish
Right.
and brought to heights of glory that it deserves to be brought to in today's broken world.
Yep.
And he's spreading light outside the state of Florida. He's been working with those brothers from D.C. to bring the Washington Gavel, as we talked about, to children in Florida and other places in Florida where people can see it and look at it and be in the presence of that historic thing.
Right.
From
It's
the
no small
foundation of
thing.
our country,
It's
and a man who fought, for our freedom and independence and to build this country we live in. That's an item that should be revered by everybody, not just Masons.
That's right. It's a national treasure. It is officially a national treasure, and it is guarded as such.
Yeah.
So it's not something you just kind of take out of the case and say, "Ooh, check this thing out." You can't do that. It's official. It's officially sanctioned as a national treasure. So and it's handled accordingly, and we're going to be there to witness. I guess the presentation of it, the movement of. I don't know exactly how it works.
I've never done this before.
I'm
but
so looking forward to this. Also,
it's crazy. I'm going to fly up with the boys, and you have other plans.
well, the other plan is that John Schaefer and I, shout out Johnny Schaefer, a fellow fellow ruffian, are going to road trip up from here in beautiful Sarasota, Florida, up to the event, which begins November 30th, by the way. And you can go online and get tickets. I think there's still room if you want to be a part of the tour
Yes.
bus. But you better get on it because it's going to sell out fast. It's a big deal. But he and I are going to road trip up, and what we're trying to do is we'd like to use the Amity app to visit lodges along the way, because we're big fans of Amity here at OTL, and we want to use the app to kind of visit lodges along the way and showcase the power of this app and what it can do. So we're looking forward to that. We've got the GoPro ready. We've got video ready. We're gonna make it a Masonic journey from beautiful Sarasota, Florida, to what promises to be probably a chilly Richmond, Virginia area. So we'll have to bundle up. We can't wear our sandals and our T-shirts like we like to do here in Florida. But it's going to be a great time. If you're going, shout out to us. We want to see you there. We want to give you a hug. And
we want you on the show. We're going to be live all throughout.
Yeah, we absolutely are. It's going to be a great time. We're going to make a big deal of it. And I'm really looking forward to it.
Thursday, November 29th is when most people are arriving. So that evening, they'll be drawing names for the wreath-laying ceremony, and they'll be
right
that night. Friday morning, we're busing to the cemetery, do the wreath-laying with the trolley. We'll have dinner, lunch at the Capitol. Saturday.
Did you say lunch at the Capitol?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And we'll be touring the temple, the Scottish Rite Temple there.
Right. Yep.
We'll have a private tour as part of this trip. Saturday afternoon, we'll be installing the Officers of Potomac Lodge number 5. Their installation starts at 3. They have an after party at 6 that we'll be attending. And then Sunday is a little bit of free time. So we'll be broadcasting and interviewing brothers from Potomac Lodge, our brothers coming up there, maybe the Grand Master and some of our Grand Lodge that are there.
That would be an honor.
Obviously, Bill Katselis will be
with
us. So, yeah, this is going to be super exciting. I can't wait.
Yeah, looking forward to it. So mark your calendars. It's going to be the last weekend in November this month. So coming up quick. So if you're going to make it, get it done. Get on it. Get it done. Let us know if we can help. All right, what else, man? What else?
Yes.
What's going on in the world? I don't know.
In the world?
I don't know.
Nothing. It's quiet out there.
It's really quiet out there.
No
Everything's
wars.
great.
Everyone likes each other.
Everything is awesome.
We have
right.
no problems here at home. Everything's great.
Yeah.
No, it's not that. There's a lot going on out there in the world.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of anxiety, a lot of fear.
Yeah.
I think that fear sells. If you're a gigantic, overbloated government system, having everybody a little bit afraid is probably an advantage for you. I am not afraid. That's probably one of my problems that I've had throughout my life, is I'm not really afraid of anything, and probably should, other than I fear God, and that side of my life. But I fear no man, and I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. But
I'm the opposite. I'm pretty afraid. I'm scared.
Yeah.
I think this nuclear situation is the most terrifying thing we're dealing with. My wife is 15 years younger than me.
Okay.
So she's shocked when I tell her of the nuclear drills we used to do in high school.
Oh, right. Okay.
You did those, right?
Yep.
They were like, okay, kids, get under your desk, cover your heads.
Right.
We're about to get vaporized. I guess we're just we want to go out like the Pompeii people, just covered up under our desks. I don't know. Looking back, it was silly. If a nuclear strike happens, that ain't going to help.
Of course not. No, but it did help one thing. Oh, go ahead.
She's shocked that we used to do that in school.
Right.
We did all do that in school. We grew up with that fear of the Cold War, that we had missiles pointed at us, we had missiles pointed at Russia. And then it kind of went away, and it wasn't a thing people talked about for a long time or feared that much. But now we're back to escalating globally our nuclear arsenals. Everyone's making faster, bigger bombs, 100 times more powerful, 200. I'm like, geez, how... This is scary for, I think, us as a species, that we are so intent on making these weapons that can wipe us all out. All of us. It's not like just your enemies. All of us get wiped out.
Well, that's the theory. That's the theory, that mutual destruction.
Yeah.
And
somehow that's a good thing in some people's eyes.
Well, mutual destruction is the fear that if there's no reason to do it, because you might as well just light the thing off in your own front yard. Because if we send it your way, you're going to send it our way.
Right.
And there's that mutual destruction. But that's a theory that I hold to. But here's the problem. We now have countries that really don't care if you blow them up.
Right.
We're getting to the point where a nuclear weapon, an actual deployable nuclear weapon, is obtainable by other nation states that may not be as sensible. But
if they don't see a hope of the future, then what do they have to lose?
Right, or they have some sort of broken religious viewpoint that this is the will of God.
Again,
that they
they don't see a path into the future, for whatever reason.
Right.
The better future is to be dead. Then it's scary.
Yeah, well, that's nihilistic, to the core. But here's the thing. I know that the actual threat, and this might be a little controversial, but the actual threat
I'm listening closer now.
of nuclear war in the 70s was not as close as they would have you believe. Like you said, having children duck and cover under their desks is ridiculous in concept, because a nuclear weapon is not going to save you if you're under your desk or not.
No.
But it did do a lot to drive fear into the hearts and minds of children who grew up, like Chris and I, who grew up to believe that, the only thing keeping us from nuclear annihilation is this great government that has all this great money and power. Not so much money anymore, a lot of power, but not as much money as it had before. And I think that was really the point. I've always maintained that the truth is that the oppressive parts of big governments throughout the world, they want to keep you afraid, but they don't want you to die in mass, because that would be killing the golden goose. The reason they exist is because of masses of people. So I think I just don't see it. Like I said, a rogue nation, potentially, sure, but they don't have the ability to fire one through the sky. But a rogue nation could put together something and light off a nuclear weapon. As far as, country A launching a full, strike against country B, launching a retaliatory strike, which annihilates all life on the planet, don't see that happening.
Well, the United Nations, as of October 3rd, had the doomsday clock at 90 seconds to midnight.
Again, doomsday clock, going back to the inception of it.
That is. It sounds pretty scary.
I think it was in 1952, 1955, it was instituted. Another, in my opinion, it was just another measure of driving fear into the hearts of the general population.
I think
that fear went a long way in spending a lot of money on building weapons, man, for everybody. It was a boon for the entire globe. They spent trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars that they created out of thin air on what? Getting themselves and their families, extremely wealthy.
I'm sure that people listening have some strong opinions about this, as we're talking
Absolutely,
about
of course.
Survival of the human species. It's
right.
a pretty big deal.
Yeah, and I don't want to sound flippant. It is a big deal. Don't get me wrong, but I don't see it.
Not just the human species, but all life on Earth, essentially, is what we're talking about. We can't end it, and all it takes is one mistake. One misidentified object in the sky, one itchy finger from a country, one unhinged leader, and it can all go away. So I don't think, that's the kind of stuff that worries me, honestly, that it could happen, and it wouldn't take much for that to happen. And we misidentify things all the time, and we have insane people in charge of countries, unfortunately, more often, it seems like now, than maybe at times in the past, who have more destructive weapons at their disposal than they've ever had in the past.
Yeah, I think that my faith helps me a lot in this area.
I think that's wise.
Because, if God, the architect of all things, is who he says he is, then he's extremely powerful and extremely all-knowledgeable. Nothing's happening on this planet that he has not ordained to happen. So the destruction of all life as we know it by nuclear means would have to be ordained by him. I don't see that happening. I don't see it working that way. So my faith tells me that, I guess maybe that's why I have this flippancy. If you're listening thinking I'm being flippant about it, I'm not. It's just I don't believe that we are in charge of destroying every single mammal and or roach, cockroach, bird, fish, and human on the planet. That's not our decision. And we can boast, or we can put our chests out at each other and create all these new weapons and stuff. But at the end of the day, that's not our call, and it's not going to happen that way unless it is ordained to happen. And if that's the case, then there's a reason for it. And I'm going to have to be good with that reason. I don't know what that reason might be. I don't believe it is, but.
No. Well, that's the thing. It's just scary to me because I don't have the faith that you have in that particular situation being the case. I think free will is a real thing, and people are dangerous with it.
Yeah, no, I respect that, man.
Yeah, it's
I totally
scary.
respect
It's
that.
just scary. It's a scary time, and scarier even than when I was a kid because I understand things and I know people better.
The rationalist would say, well, there's nothing you can do about it.
It's
so,
true.
Well,
why worry about it? Right?
Why worry about it? Because there's nothing you can do about it. Well, that doesn't change the facts.
Right.
If you believe that the Russian submarine captain who's got 24 nuclear warheads on his submarine, and all he needs is one other man to turn that key and fire those things off, actually goes crazy and does it. Well, you can't do anything about it, bro. So why worry about it? Doesn't help.
Hunt for Red October up in here.
One of my favorite all-time movies. It's a great movie.
Come on, you're not going to find actors like Harrison Ford and Sean Connery in the same movie together today.
Yeah, Harrison Ford wasn't in it. You're thinking of
he wasn't he?
No. Not when you said Harrison Ford, it blew my what's his name? 30 Rock.
John Lithgow? No, I'm off.
One of my favorite actors ever.
Oh, I love John Lithgow.
Especially Third Rock. What a great show.
Oh, I love that show.
I could do some John Lithgow right now, but I won't.
Really?
Yeah. I can't remember the man's name. Everybody out there is shouting his name at the radio right now.
Is it an actor or a character?
Yes, an actor. And he did Jack Ryan originally.
Wasn't that Harrison Ford?
That was in Clear and Present Danger. Jack Ryan is a character in several different movies.
Yeah.
Jack Ryan in Hunt for Red October was played by...
Oh, wait.
30 Rock.
Hold on. I'm going to get you the name.
30 Rock.
Sean Connery. Alec Baldwin.
Alec Baldwin. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Neal.
Yeah. Alec Baldwin.
Tim Curry was in that movie?
Yep.
Tim Curry?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
It's a great movie. Go watch it. Everybody out there.
Rewatch that.
Go watch it. Rewatch it. It's really good. It's really great. It's done so well. It's just one of those movies where you can.
Well, it's in like a tight space, so much stress and drama.
Absolutely.
Like I remember feeling the anxiety watching it. When it was over, I was like, "Oh,
right,
yeah, breathe."
It was so good. Yeah, there wasn't a lot of hokey, cringy moments in there with those movies. Kind of every once in a while, some stupid thing that they got to draw out. None of that. It was all just top notch all the way from beginning to end. It's really good.
Well, going back to the original issue, which is thermonuclear destruction.
Thermonuclear destruction of all mankind.
There's two things that can save us. I think one is divine intervention, as you said.
Yes.
And one is our ability to communicate with each other.
Hey, I know something
about that. We
about
can actually
that.
fix things if we could communicate with each other.
And
that is in our control. We could do that.
Is there some sort of fraternity that could help in that area?
I mean, look, I'm dealing with a little drama in my lodge at the end of the year. And,
what? No.
And honestly, all of it would have gone away with some communication.
Absolutely.
Just a little communication would have fixed
direct
everything.
Communication, not online communication.
Well, yeah, and I mean, we had a final conversation last night about that situation, and it did come down to an admission of, man, I wish I communicated better.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Because that really would have solved a whole lot of issues. There would have been really no issues with communication, and I think with this issue, the problem is we're not communicating with our adversaries, and I get it; it's complicated.
It's always complicated.
They're doing some crazy bad things to certain people that we want to protect, so it's hard to talk. And I know I'm not intelligent, and I don't have degrees, and I'm not a leader of a nation, but it seems like communication should be a top priority.
Well, in our fraternity, I think we kind of boast about it. We have a system of being able to communicate. We're supposed to be, brotherly love and affection should open communication up in a very genteel, easy way. Yes. If I have a problem, I should be able to, with confidence and with love and respect, talk to my brother and work it out before it becomes an issue. But I'm seeing in the last year, in not just our lodge, but all over the place in Masonry, I'm seeing all of this angst. And maybe it's a sign of the times. People don't know how to deal with their feelings about what's going on in the world, and it's coming out. Maybe it's coming out in their homes, in their lodges, in their work. I don't know. Maybe there's just more anxiety overall in the world right now.
There definitely
and
is.
We're kind of seeing that play out, throughout all different things. But I'm seeing, a lot of it in
How could there not be? We're plugged in all day. I get notifications on my wrist. Fire, brimstone, warning, danger, all day on
I
my
turned
watch.
it all off
I'm
about
like,
2 months
"Gee."
ago. I have not been happier.
You're smart. And I really think there's going to be a renaissance in the world of a return back to a simpler way
Yes.
of living.
Face to face
Seriously, like
fellowship.
my wife showed me an ad that's out now for a new phone, and the whole point of the phone is it has no apps on it. There's no notifications.
Right.
It's
Yep.
a phone. It's used to make calls.
Wait, you mean it makes calls?
They
Like
call
phone
it like
calls, you mean?
they call it light. It's just light. It's nothing but a light little phone that's meant to make phone calls. And yeah, you can connect to the internet and search stuff if you want to. But it's like take control of your life back. It starts right here.
Yeah, I like the idea. If you are so overly plugged into it, it might not be a bad idea to cold turkey it out. For me, I just simply stopped listening. I've said this before on the show. I love current events, news. I love to get the facts, and I like to dig in to find the facts. So when somebody's telling me all of these things about a current situation, take the Hamas-Israel thing, and they're going on and on about it, and everybody's got all their opinions and stuff. I like to dig into secondary and non-primary news sources and dig deep into that stuff. I love it.
It's called the light phone.
Right, I see it there.
$2.99.
The
You
light
can
phone
make phone
too.
calls and text people, and that's it. No social media ever
Wow.
on your
Wow.
phone.
Which is good. Like I said, if you're knee deep into it and you can't get out, you might want to try that. For me, the first thing I did is I turned off all that news stuff.
Yeah, you kind of
Because-
took steps to do this on your own.
Right. And then I there's some podcasts, news commentator podcast stuff that I used to listen to. I'm just bummed out by it anymore, and it's just not really bringing any joy into my life. And what I found out is that they're not saying anything new for the last 30 days. The situations change, but the base problem is still the same. And it's all from, half a world away, which I have no control over. So I do have control over the things in my life and the people in my life. I can care for, those who are hurting and in need in my neighborhood. I can do that. And that's what I choose to do. I'm not going to concern myself with the problems of the world necessarily, because I have no way of doing anything about it. But I do have a way of helping those in need that I can be face to face with. And I think that, our craft, Masonry, our craft has a lot to say about that. I mean, there's a
Yes.
lot we can do
Yes.
as a group of men who are dedicated to, to becoming better men and helping our community. And if you have anxiety about what's going on half a world away, why not put that away, go back to Lodge and figure out, hey, how can we help the people that are right around the corner from us?
You're
And
on.
what can we do?
there? Because a lot of us are armchair everything, right?
Yeah, and
when the COVID came out, we were all armchair virologists.
Ay, ay, ay.
And if this comes out, everybody's gonna be an expert on that. But the reality is, we can sit here and talk about how our governments don't do things right, but do we?
yeah, right.
Do you
right.
deal with your problems
Because
correctly?
we are the government. We're supposed to be the
Do
government.
you govern your lodge the way that you wish the government governed our country?
Uh-oh, now you're
fair?
meddling.
Do you
Now-
communicate? Are you open? Like maybe we start by fixing ourselves, and thereby can help influence the world in a positive way.
Well, it's true. If you want to change the world, you must first change yourself. And that was me. I talked about at the beginning of the show that I have been praying about just my own life and direction and stuff. And the first thing that happened is my entire life began to be dissected, and I'm forced to review, hey, this, that, and the other,
Mhm.
and in my own life. If you want to change the world, you must first change yourself. And you're not going to change the world. You and I sitting here talking are not going to do anything
No,
with the outcome of Russia, Israel, Hamas, blah, blah, any of it.
right.
None of it. All of our talking, all of our arguing, all of our opinions won't change anything. But can we find a way here locally to do something to impact the life of another? Yes, we can
Oh,
do that. And
definitely.
I say, brother, listening, go do that.
Yes,
Go and
please.
do that, because it will definitely lower your anxiety in a big way. All right, so why are we here? What is our actual teaching this week? Are we going to do that or not?
Yeah, of course.
All right, we're still reading out of the out of the Masonic Etiquette book, the Lodge System of Masonic Education. It's the yellow covered book that you got, GL 208, reprinted in 2010. We left off on page 8, and this week we're going to talk about grand honors. And it's actually like a full page. Probably won't go that far.
I can summarize that for you.
Yeah?
There are only a few times in the Mason's life when he's afforded grand honors.
Right.
And it goes on to detail what those times are likely.
Yep.
You get grand honors when you're installed as the worshipful master of a lodge. You get grand honors when you're awarded a 40 or 50-year presentation.
Yeah, it's
for being
50 or more.
Oh, only 50?
That's what it says. Yeah, brother receiving a 50-year membership or more.
So the 40s don't get the grand honors.
No.
Okay.
50 and plus.
We ain't getting that one.
We ain't getting that one.
Nope. Maybe our AI bodies will, but we're not getting it.
Yeah. Okay.
And, the Grand Master gets grand honors, as does the district deputy when he's received in a lodge officially.
Right. Yep.
So those are really, really important events in a Mason's life. And not everybody's going to get those moments that are Masons.
Now, are grand honors something that can be done in public, or is this only in a tiled lodge?
So there are public grand honors used at a funeral ceremony.
Okay.
Which differ slightly from the grand honors we do in closed tiled meetings. They are different.
Oh, okay. Okay,
Yeah,
good.
so we have our private grand honors and we have our public grand honors. And the public, I believe, is just in the funerals. And we actually explain what it means at a funeral. Each step is explained to the people present. And that's all written out in the blue monitor if you want to read it. So we're pointing to heaven and saying we consign his body, his spirit to God who gave it. We cherish his memories here in our chest. And we kind of hold our hands to our chest, and then we say, and we consign his body to the earth from whence it came, and we point down.
Wow.
And so those are public grand honors that are explained to anyone that attends a Masonic ceremony. But in our grand honors that our district deputies and worshipful masters get, it is slightly different, and you really feel that this is a unique, once-in-a-lifetime experience. I was installed and got the grand honors, and that was the moment where I felt like I wasn't in my body anymore. It was like I was watching something happen to somebody else, because you just know instinctively this is a one-time deal.
Right,
Like, I'm never going to get that again in my life. And I didn't get it by accident. Like, I had done a lot of work.
Yeah, you had.
And, like, put in a lot of time to get to that point. And it's the culmination of the beginning of the end of your Masonic career. If you just go through the normal officer line, that's going to be
which you did.
Am I? Sure. I sat in every chair. Yeah.
You sat in every chair, and you went through them in succession, right? So you started as junior deacon. Junior steward.
Actually, that's the only chair I wasn't actually installed in. I've sat in it many times.
Senior steward?
That was my first installed chair.
And you went all the way to worshipful master?
Yes.
How many years?
Ooh, that was 5 years.
5 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
5 chairs, 5 years.
Yeah.
And then you end as the master, and that year is over when it starts, basically. You blink and it's gone. So, that installation is the beginning of the end of your Masonic career in the line, and it's kind of like a reward for all the effort and the time you've given the lodge and the brothers, and you feel it, man. It's a moment,
right?
And I can only imagine going further up, a district deputy and a grand master being received amongst your brothers is probably pretty magical too. I would say.
Sure, I get it.
I saw Right Worshipful Haber, and he seemed to always get choked up every time. I was at almost all of his official visits when he was the district deputy, and it seemed like quite an emotional experience every time it happened. So I'm sure it doesn't lessen as you get it over time. But that is something we do to honor our brothers for their service and for their dedication to the craft.
Yeah.
And the Grand Honors is one of our secrets that we don't show the public.
Correct.
So we can't really talk in detail about what it is.
Right. No, that's right. That's ours. So if you want to know what that is, go down to your local lodge and ask for a petition.
Yeah.
That's what I would say. Go ask for a petition. Find out what it's all about. Ask them. You want to know? Go ask them. Because there is a lodge in your town.
Yes.
There is a lodge in your town. So the next one is Grand Lodge is the heading. It's on page 9. It says Grand Lodge Grand Lodge is the great source of power in the craft. It has legislative, administrative, and executive jurisdiction over all matters pertaining to the fraternity. Our Masonic traditions are in its keeping. It is only right that our respect for its officers be shown by adhering to certain rules of etiquette necessary to maintain that respect, and this etiquette must be punctuously observed. Punctuously observed. Grand honors are symbols of that honor and respect. Talking, promiscuous moving about the room, failure to address the Grand Master, or to use his proper title when speaking are all violations of common courtesy and gentlemanly conduct. It is an assemblage numbering hundreds. It is essential that these rules be strictly adhered to in order that business coming before Grand Lodge be dispatched with promptness and in a dignified manner. Not only are these rules relating to decorum applicable to Grand Lodge, but they might well be taken seriously by our lodges, in which decorum is sometimes conspicuous by its absence. Hello? Are we meddling a little bit there? Is this thing on?
Well, you've been to Grand Lodge now.
Yep.
And you'll go again. And I encourage everybody. In the state of Florida, anyone can go. You don't have to be an officer. You don't have to be a master.
Right.
None of that. Anyone can go that's a Mason. Please go. There is nothing that's going to compare in Freemasonry to sitting in a room with over 1,000 other Masons.
Right.
And after a prayer, hearing a booming, echoing "So mote it be" throughout the hall.
Right.
Man, that's a moment that I look forward to every Grand Lodge.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
You're part of something real.
And that's exactly what you're talking about right there, is that when you go to the Grand Lodge communication every year here in Florida, you realize just how big the fraternity that you belong to is. And it really, really just, for me, it just really solidified, I'm in the right place. This is something I should be doing, because we say it all the time on the show, man. We have brothers all over the world. I mean, it's big. It's not small. This is a big deal. And it's worth preserving. It's worth fighting for. And I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. But I it's just
people have an attitude of it's always going to be there. Come on, it'll be fine. You don't have to worry. But no, you do.
You do, because it's not always going to be there. If we don't fight for it, if we don't stand for it and practice its principles, and do what Doug Dobbs would say, Florida work, not lodge work, and carry the traditions forward, it won't be there. It won't be there. Some version of it might be there, but it's not a version that any of us want to be a part of.
People with the attitude of it's always be there are the reason we might lose our Masonic home.
They
are the reason that we might lose our Grand Lodge headquarters.
Yeah, right. I don't know much about the headquarters controversy, but I'm 100% with you on the home. I know it's expensive. I get that, and it's not an easy thing to take care of in this day and age. But you know what? We're gonna. If this show has anything to say about it, I want that thing there.
People that were in the know knew there was something going on and knew they could do something about it and didn't act. And I don't know who they were.
Yeah, right.
But I know this happened, and a shame on them. Like, now we have to deal with this situation we're in where it's not good. So please don't take the attitude of it's always going to be there. If you're here, it's your job to fight to keep it.
Right.
That's your part in this whole thing.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. And decisions can be made to streamline it, to do the work to it, but somebody needs to figure it out. There's always a man with a plan, a man with a vision, a man with an idea who can rally men to himself to make these positive changes. But as it currently is, and the people who are on the other side of this debate will tell you, its days are numbered. I mean, because the numbers don't lie. But that does not mean we give up, and that's what we're about. We want that home to be there.
Like, all we can do is what we can with what we're given, right? Like, we're in the situation we are, and I don't know.
Said Gandalf.
Maybe it is nothing we can do. I don't know. But still, let's learn the lesson.
Let's definitely learn the lesson.
Let's not do this again.
All right. Well, listen, man. I don't know what we want to do next. What do you want to do? Oh, I know. How about jewels? Let's talk about the jewels.
I got your jewels right here.
I got your jewels right here, boy. According to the custom of this grandeur, according to the custom of this grand jurisdiction, the jewels of the officers of lodges shall be of silver or white metal.
Now, we read this, and you inspected our jewels.
They are not silver.
They're
Well,
not
they're
silver?
silver in color. So I guess that would be white metal.
Does it specify? It doesn't really say.
It doesn't
real
say real silver.
It just says silver.
Right,
Like,
silver in color or appearance, I would assume. Gold is reserved for Grand Lodge jewels and should never be used by the constituent lodges. Cases have been observed of lodges accepting and using solid gold jewels as a present from some outside organization. This is improper.
Ooh.
The jewels of Grand Lodge officers are gold or the color of gold, yellow, not white, and should always be worn at Grand Lodge functions. Officers' jewels are a part of the official and necessary insignia of the office and are bestowed as such at the time of installation and should always be worn with respected as such, never personal or private adornments.
Interesting.
So those jewels don't belong to you, they belong to the office.
Yeah.
So as a treasurer, when I put that thing on, it's signifying the office that I hold. And they're not mine. I don't get to wear them around. They're not mine. They belong to the craft.
Right.
They belong to the office.
Can't wear them to a party and be like, "Hey, look at me!
Check me out, baby.
Got a gold jewel."
Bling. It ain't that way.
No.
It ain't that way. It's a sacred trust, and it's part of our ritual. And it's all part of the grandeur and the mystique and ritual, of our craft, which I love. I love that stuff, man.
Yeah,
me
too.
I really do. I love it, and I am of the opinion that it will be part of my life for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying. A group of us did dedicate to get together this coming year and work towards our silver card.
Work towards your gold card.
Oh, gold card, both cards. That's right. By the end of the year,
You will have a gold card next year.
which is a huge deal, because we want to be good at it. We want to be proficient at it, and we want to be able to share with others, that part of Masonry, that secret part of Masonry that we do our ritual work, which is just so much fun.
Well, what we're going to try to do is treat it like a traditional catechism class.
Correct.
We'll have a group of 6 guys, hopefully, that meet once a week, and we'll start with the givebacks.
Yep.
Get our silver proficiency card, work through the blue, the green, and then work on the oranges together as a group. And as you give them back, you'll get your cards. And by the end of the year, we should have 6 new gold card holders.
That would be awesome.
In our lodge.
That would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you'll be able to do lectures.
Ay.
If you're so inclined.
Ay.
Which I highly encourage you to do, as you
Listen,
learn a lot about yourself.
If I could do it, I would do it.
You can do it, and you will do it.
We'll see.
Hey,
I'm up for it.
Do it with another guy.
No, I'm open. I'm totally open. Yeah, I would love to do that. That looks like so much fun. But I'm totally open to the learning process. So, and 2024, and maybe we'll just do a little reporting on it, how it's going throughout the show, so folks can see, how it's going. We'll kind of give some updates on it, and that'll be fun. Yeah, you watch our progress throughout the year as we attempt to go from no card to gold card in 1 year.
I can't wait. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun.
Think back to your catechism time. Those were fun times with the brothers.
I've said it before that the Fellowcraft degree, catechism, and give back was absolutely awesome for me.
You had a great time, right?
I really had a great time with it. It was great. Everything about the Fellowcraft. Everybody says that, I know, but for me it was absolutely true. It was just a really good time. I was able to, and I think I probably still could with a little brush up. I can do the entire thing from beginning to end, without from memory, which is what we do. I think that the other two I'm going to have to brush up on and work on. I couldn't be as confident, but that one I can, and I just like the way it flows. I like being able to stand up and do it, which is part of the thing. It's the accomplishment of it all, and the unity that it brings when you do it, and your brothers are there rooting for you, and you get it done, and you do it right. Hey, this is Masonry, man. This is why we love it. One of the reasons why we love it. One of the reasons why we're so passionate about it is because, we love this stuff.
Yeah, it's important, and it's important for you as a person. It's important for your family and your community to become better. So it is extremely important. And let me tell you, if you happen to be in the Englewood area on November 11th, Saturday, November 11th at 6 p.m., we will be having an outdoor Master Mason degree. They have gotten a dispensation from Grand Lodge to hold their Master Mason degree outdoor in the wilderness, trees around you, torches, real fire.
So cool.
This is going to be special. And then again, on December 16th at Englewood Lodge number 360, we will have another, before the end of the year, Master Mason degree outdoors, where we will have 6 of our brothers being raised on December 16th. We both have parts in the degrees.
Yeah.
Sorry to tell you that.
Oh, surprise.
Please, if you've never seen an outdoor Master Mason degree, do yourself a favor and see if you can get there on November 11th or December 16th, starting at 6 p.m. And you'll get to see some not just good ritual work, but experience it in the way that we talk about it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
A lodge being, covering being the clouded canopy.
Right.
Above us. You'll get to experience it, and it's pretty special to hear the wolves in the background. And
and then there was a whippoorwill last time. If anybody,
what the heck is that?
Whippoorwill is a bird that makes a sound that sounds like the whippoorwill. Whippoorwill. It makes that sound. And there's a legend. I think I've talked about this before. There's a legend of the whippoorwill. When you hear the sound of a whippoorwill, the legend has it that's God calling you to repentance for something that you have done.
Oh Lord!
So you're being called out when you've done something that you know is wrong that you've got to make right, and you hear that whippoorwill. She's calling you out, man.
We hear that on November 11th or December 16th, and I go away for 4 to 5 hours. You know what I'm doing.
Yeah, right.
I got a lot of repenting to do to the whippoorwills.
Yeah, well, and you can guarantee that I just probably need to hear one every day.
Yeah,
because that's the way my life's going right now. But we will prevail. So anyway, I think that's enough from the book for today. We don't want to give it all away. Maybe there's so much in the etiquette book. It's really important that you know it.
Trove.
It's important that you know it, because then that way you're able to conduct yourselves in and outside of the lodge in a way that is acceptable, and it's uniformed. If we all understood this book, we would all understand why we do what we do, and we would understand and be able to help each other to behave correctly within the confines of the lodge. So I like it. I think I have liked this. Hello. Sorry.
Earth to Fred.
It was
Fred.
Cell phone came through. Sorry.
You need a light phone.
I need a light phone. The light phone too. The Masonic etiquette book that we've gone through here, I've enjoyed pretty much more than any of the other ones. I got to say the Master Mason was kind of fun going through that one, but this was helpful. Mm-hmm. And I enjoyed it. We got a lot of feedback from people that said, they never really opened it up, and they never really knew what was in there, and that because of the show, they've opened it up and read through it, and were enlightened as to what Masonic etiquette is. It's gentlemanly behavior, guys. Mm-hmm. You're a grown-ass man, and you're a Mason.
Yeah.
So we're supposed to behave like gentlemen towards each other.
This stuff is like movies, when you watch a movie and you're 12 and you go back and watch it when you're 30, it ain't the same movie.
It ain't the same movie, man.
It's the same here. I think you get more out of this stuff when you come back at a different point in your life and Masonic career and read it.
Right, yeah.
You'll get more and different things out of it. So it's good to come back and reread these important documents.
Yeah, I agree.
Together, hopefully, with friends, and get different viewpoints on it who are at different points in their life, and, have a little chat seats.
That's right. So we do not have another esoteric discussion group.
No, not this year.
Not this year. So that's done because of the holidays. Everybody, we tried to put one together for November because the weather's so good, and we do them outside.
Fire
but
pits.
The more we talked about our schedules, the more everybody realized it's like, it ain't gonna happen, man. The holidays are upon us, and it's just absolutely cranking down on us. And this is just November. Forget about December.
Well, this is maybe a good time for us to put together the agenda that we talked about and get it online for other people. Maybe going into next year that can use it to host them in their district.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's a great idea.
Let's put some resources together for people.
Yeah, we can put that out on the website.
Put it on the interwebs?
On the interwebs.
Put it on the line?
Put it on the interwebs.
They take a picture and put it on the line. That's
so anything you want to share before we get out of here? This show's a little short.
I've shared enough.
But I think we've shared enough. And at the end of the day, what Chris and I want anybody listening to know is that our heart is always for the benefit of the craft. We don't always perform that perfectly because we're flawed men, but the reason we do this show and the reason we're so passionate about it is because we want the craft to survive. We want the craft to do what it does in the lives of men, making good men better. And if you have a problem with this show, if you have a problem with anybody on this show, I would encourage you to mason up, brother. Square your work and come forward. And with love and gentleness and respect, share with us, what your problem is privately, and then we could rejoice together publicly at finding common ground, finding how we might work and agree and do things better together as a craft. Because I say it all the time, if you have a problem with a brother that is causing you to go outside of dealing with him directly, then you're wrong. Even if your cause is right, your methods are wrong. And if your methods are wrong, nobody's ever going to get to the bottom of it. And there's a couple of situations out there right now that are like that we're not getting to the bottom of anything because nobody knows the whole story, because the whole story is not being.
You referring to our Texas brothers?
Sure.
Oh, okay, and others. Gotcha.
At the end of the day, we're Masons. Square our work by the square of virtue, circumscribe our passions and superfluidities, and act like Masons, act like men.
That would be lovely.
And it will work out. We have a system that works, man. And when it works really well, man. And I really love it when it works.
Yeah. And we appreciate you guys for listening. It's always shocked when I go somewhere and meet someone who says they're a big fan.
I know, right?
In every episode, my first thing is give me feedback. What can we do better? Because, we're here trying to figure it out, and we don't get that direct feedback. So, yeah, give it to us if you have it.
That's right. Yeah, we're willing to listen. We're
absolutely
willing to
listen. Pats on the back, although they're greatly appreciated. We want to get better.
Yeah, we want this show to be all it can be. And if you guys have listened to if you listen to the very end, you're our hero, man. We really appreciate that. We will do this again every week. We will drop a show for as long as Chris and I are alive. Boom. And it will happen. So till next time, brothers, square your work, man. Square your work.
Build it strong.
Build it strong. Be a Mason. We'll see you guys.